Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. So today we're going to be doing a non-spoiler review over the movie The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So as I mentioned before in my trailer reaction, The Devil Made Me Do It is the third Conjuring film in the franchise. And as you guys know, there's a Conjuring universe, which includes films like Annabelle and The Nun and so on and so on. But this one is supposed to be closing off the Conjuring story with Lorraine and Ed Warren. Again, this movie is directed by Michael Chavez. I don't know if it's Chavez or Chaves, just because of the way it's spelled. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It is a 2021 horror thriller film about paranormal investigators that we know and love, Ed and Lorraine Warren. They take on what is considered one of their most sensational cases of their careers after a cop stumbles upon a young bloody man on the road. He's accused of murder, and the suspect claims demonic possession as his defense. And this kind of like forces the Warrens into a supernatural inquiry unlike any they've ever seen before. And yeah, they have to just kind of prove that the devil did possess this young man. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into a few things I want to talk about with this movie. So The Devil Made Me Do It came out the day that I actually was finally getting to watch the final trailer, because I told myself I'm going to watch the final trailer for The Conjuring 3 just so the way I could be prepared for the film, because I closed myself off from anything Conjuring. So seeing the trailers and stuff like that at the last minute was all very fresh to me. I hadn't seen anything up to that point. I had no idea what it was going to be about. I had no knowledge of the case that it was supposed to be based off of or anything like that. So I will say that going in like that was an awesome experience. With that, of course, I had to watch the movie all by myself at about like 1 a.m. at night. With my earbuds in, which made it even more, like my wireless earbuds, which made it even more personal, which was pretty creepy. I'll say that added to my my watch experience. And obviously with that, I did watch it on HBO Max. I didn't get to go to a theater for it, and the experience was still just as spoopy. The performances and characters, of course, as always, as I always say, Ed and Lorraine Warren, which of course is played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. It's like they somehow managed to top the performances that they had done in the previous films. Somehow. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. I felt super attached to these characters. I felt every emotion that Lorraine was feeling. I felt every like crazy thing that happened to Ed. I felt that I was there. That was very, very nice. And just to see the love between those characters, and just, I don't know, the performances between these two, and like mostly all of the projects that they're in together is very, very nice. It's like sometimes you find that like acting friend or partner or whoever that you match with for life, and I believe Patrick and Vera have found that in each other, and from what I've read, they are pretty good friends. So it's nice to see that translate very well on screen. Rory O'Connor as Arnie was pretty good. I enjoyed the like physical movements that this character had when things were happening. I won't give too much away, but like the physical performance that this character was able to do. Of course, you toss in some CG there, but like the natural movement of this character, or excuse me, of this performer was crazy. Sarah Catherine Hook played Debbie Glatzel, which is a member of the family that the story is based around, and the way that she performed and just portrayed Debbie was pretty great. You could feel that love and that fear that she felt when things were going on with Arnie. It was good. It didn't feel like too over the top. It felt like she was genuinely scared. It felt like she genuinely wanted to believe like Arnie, and it felt like she was just like confused, didn't understand what was quite happening. And it was nice to have that character kind of be the audience in some ways. Like you're kind of like, I don't really know how to feel. I'm also kind of scared. So it was nice to have her. She felt relatable in regard to like watching experience. I won't give away what character this actress plays, but Eugenie Bondurant, oh God, I always pronounce her name wrong, Bondurant, she was fantastic. Like there was something unsettling about her, but I wasn't like overall like freaked out of my mind. I don't know what it is. My defense mechanism whenever I see a horror movie, instead of like covering my whole face or like turning my head, I do this to the screen at such an angle where I cover what I think may pop out or something bad. I always do this, and I don't know why, but it always makes me laugh when I'm doing it because it looks so ridiculous. But I'll say that her performance was probably one of my favorites up there as well, right there with Lorraine and Ed, honestly. The way that the story was structured was very nice. They kind of like popped you right into the present, as I'll say, without giving too much away, and then you just kind of like figure out what's what. And Never at any point did I feel lost. The story wasn't hard to follow. Nothing felt like far-fetched for what they were trying to tell us. There weren't any moments where as a viewer you had to see the other movies. Like there was enough knowledge there where if this was your first Conjuring film, you know exactly what Ed and Lorraine were about, and you were able to quickly just put the pieces together about their history and what they were capable of. And obviously with that said, the plot wasn't complex, so I just wouldn't say like this movie was genius, because it just wasn't a super complex plot. It was very easy to follow, and like I said, that's not a bad thing at all. I think that the writing was very good. I did do some reading after I saw the movie, and I know that they took out particular members of the family, and I understand that could have been, I know there's some personal reasons with how the real life family feels about the case, and Lorraine and Ed in real life and things like that may have contributed to those characters not being in the film, as well as just certain things with like there not being enough time to have like, I don't know, 6 different people in this family versus 4, if that makes any sense. But I don't think in regard to what we were given as an audience and what they're willing to tell us about this case or whatever, I think just having the members that they wrote into the script, or the members of the family that they wrote into characters in the script, worked just fine. The sounds in this movie were fantastic. I think the music worked very well. The lack of sound in some scenes worked very well. I'll even say in regards to the jump scares weren't like overpowering and super loud to the point where like you're irritated by it, if that makes any sense. And just quickly about the visuals and the set, I think that the setting and everything looked nice. The costuming and just the amount of work and detail they put into each and individual scene, the way each scene was framed, I think they did a really good job with this film. You can tell that they really put their all into this one to get the story out there, to kind of like put you in the mind of Lorraine when she's able to pick up like what may have happened to someone dead or alive. They really did get pretty creative with some of those scenes there, is what I'll say. And in regard to scare factor, I think I'll start like leaving that in my horror movie reviews too, just so that way I can let you guys know how I was scared. I will say, watching this movie late at night, I wouldn't say I had a hard time sleeping. I did think about it like after I watched the movie, but I will say when I was watching, I wasn't like super scared. There were some parts that like were super disturbing or like made me uncomfortable to the point where I was just kind of like this a few times, and like I said, covering like my line of sight, so I just couldn't see what was happening at one point. But I wouldn't say that I was like terrified and like curled up in my blanket like this thinking something was going to happen to me. This movie was supposed to be considered the scariest out of all of the Conjuring films, and I don't think it was that scary. I definitely don't think it was the scariest one. But yeah, guys, this movie is currently on HBO Max, and it is in theaters for you guys to go enjoy safely. And it is about 1 hour and 52 minutes long, so not very long. And I do love the way that they try to incorporate some real facts and things like that towards the end and at the beginning of these types of films. So of course, make sure you stick around or get in just early, especially if you're going out to go see it, in time to be able to experience that. That's all for me, guys. Of course, I almost forgot the rating. What do I rate The Conjuring 3 or The Conjuring The Devil Made Me Do It? I would give it maybe 3.5 out of 5 geeks. Maybe 3.5 out of 5 geeks. If you like this video, guys, go ahead and give me a like rating down below. And of course, if you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can get more movie reviews like this one. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!